Hello and welcome back to MoonClan. My name is Frosty, and today we are kind of picking up where we left off. I haven't skipped ahead or anything crazy like that, but we do have quite a few things we need to review and resolve from last episode. So last time on Moon 28, we lost Streampaw and Bayfer to a group of rogues. Streampaw's mentor was Missy Fluff, which is important in a moment. And then the next moon, one of our warriors, Coyote Path, who is Frost Whisper's mentor, decided to kill Lilac Chaser, one of our medicine cats. Adding to the tragedy, Missy Fluff, who is Streampaw's mentor, was found meeting with rogues just a moon after Streampaw's death at their paws. So there's quite a lot going on with that. Missy Fluff was not immediately exiled, despite the transgression. Had I realized that that was a possible connection, they probably would have been. Because why would you be convoluting with anybody from a group that killed your apprentice? But Missy Fluff, I guess, could have weaved a very good story about how he's trying to infiltrate their ranks, gain their trust, so that way he can exact revenge for Streampaw. I think that would probably be the only lie that Sparrowstar would even spare his life for. So in retrospect, we're gonna say that's what happened because we've already kind of moved on a little bit from that particular instance. I also did have quite a few personal questions about why Coyote Path, of all cats, would murder Lilac Chaser, who didn't seem to have a cruel bone in her body, and Coyote Path, who is insecure about everything everybody says and does, just doesn't seem to have it in them. So I did actually look at their relationships, and for whatever reason, Coyote Path did have a pretty burning hatred for Lilac Chaser. Since Lilac Chaser is now in Star Clan, we cannot view Lilac Chaser's perspective. Though I kind of doubt it would be that extreme. But we can click on here and see a little bit about what may have caused some of Coyote Path's motives for killing her. And the only thing that we have here is that Coyote Path was complaining that Lilac Chaser never does anything helpful. Coyote Path was 33 moons, so this was last moon. So the only real explanation I have is that Lilac Chaser, despite her youth, wasn't really settling into the medicine cat role as well as everybody may have expected. And that's why Ravensong stepped up to help out. And Ravensong seemed to take to it all very well, seeing as we still don't have you don't have enough medicine cat prompts yet. So Ravensong seems to have taken that experience a lot farther than Lilac Chaser was initially. And while I think Lilac Chaser was getting there, and getting the opportunity to get settled into her role, I take it that cats like Coyote Path just did not see her settling into that role fast enough or ever, and that frustrated them. Coyote Path also probably thinks that with a rogue attack, they can get away with it, just pin it on the rogues, and whatever cruel reasoning they have beyond just seeing Lilac Chaser some kind of dead weight will just remain a mystery until the clan finds out, if the clan ever finds out. And to be totally blunt, I'm a little nervous because we're pretty high up on a dislike bar for Coyote Path, and we saw what happened to Lilac Chaser once that got too much farther. And to be blunt, Coyote Path may just see that there's no real ramifications, and so if there's no ramifications, Coyote Path may very well try to take our life too. I don't really know where things went so wrong with our mentor. I know I had quite a few arguments over things that were rather petty, like, prey choices at the fresh kill pile. but nothing to warrant such extensive grudges. I honestly think that insecurity could be a really, really dark root in Coyote Path, and cats, even from the Dark Forest, maybe could be exploiting that. But Coyote Path's actions are ultimately their own, and they will be claimed by the Dark Forest, regardless of any possible manipulations when they pass. So, just to catch everybody up on where we're currently standing, that's that. But that is not all, because... Oh, that's so cute. I also forgot, in the light of all of the excitement, that Weaselreed had found a golden raspberry, and I really wanted to put that on as an accessory, and, well, I just got distracted. But now he has it, and that is such a cute accessory. I think he knows it with his arrogance. So all there is now righted, and with all of that now out of the way, we're going to jump into Moon 30 for our clan. Okay, so moving into Moon 29 for us, 30 for the clan. Looks like we have quite a few exciting things happening. You stand your ground against a menacing fox. Your victorious yowl resonates through the forest, a testament to your bravery. You find an injured kit from another clan. Despite the potential for conflict, you decide to help. I also see some births and deaths here, so I wonder if that relates to the kit. You spend a quiet night on guard duty watching over your clan. Luckily, nothing seems amiss. The stillness gives you time to reflect on your journey and the cat you've become, and hopefully bridge some gaps with Coyote Path. Danger lurks near the camp. With a growl, you alert your clanmates, ready to protect your home. So we've had quite a few problems with foxes, a little bit with rival clans, but right now it's mostly been rogues, so I think danger probably still lies in the rogues, and we may be contending with some foxes still. Oh, well, that's certainly unexpected. Icy Ice announced that they are expecting kits, but they won't be moving into the nursery just yet. I did not really peg any of the elders as being interested in mater kits, but I will go ahead and just double check everybody's current relationships, seeing as that Lilac Chaser thing snuck up on us with Coyote Path. And I also just want to see what other blooming drama we may be having. I'll just do the actual highlights though. So it looks like we're just cheering Greenfin up after a small disagreement. Pigeon Flick has gotten a running nose, but Frozen Paw has gotten white cough. Hopefully that does not escalate. We are only in Leaf Fall, so keep our fingers crossed that nothing escalates going into Leaf Bear. Oh, speaking of relationship drama though, this has been a long time coming. Tulip Stripe and Sky Scratch have become mates. Again, I did not see that one coming. Willow Deer was seen chasing a kitty pet off of the territory, while Frozen Paw was seen playing with a kitty pet over the border. So maybe that kitty pet was coming to play with Frozen Paw. So Willow Deer did well. Yay for our apprentice. Frozen Paw, however, would be getting extra elder tick duty for playing with a kitty pet. But since they're just an apprentice, they're fine. Cold Paw wanders out on their own on an odd day and comes back with a bee. Cold Paw claims it's their new pet. That sounds adorable. Let's go put the bee on Cold Paw before I get distracted with literally anything else happening. Or is your bee friend upside down? It's really cute though. Active imagination. It would take an active imagination to want to claim a bee as a pet, but hopefully she sticks around for Cold Paw's sake. Sparrowsar is worried others are judging them. Probably some kind of lingering regret about their permanent injury. Since he's fierce, I don't think he'd take any kind of physical setback very well. So I'm free to chattering at the birds in the trees above. Ravensong is hoping Judas Shade will tell them a new story. And yeah, it looks like he's perfectly capable of taking care of the full clan as it stands. We've got a pretty good stock of herbs too. So Ravensong is doing really well. And again, I think that maybe what really bothered some cats in the clan. Greenfin is looking forward to today. We will be talking to him. You know, I wish there was a new type of patrol. You know, there's hunting, border, herb gathering. But wouldn't it be cool if we were able to explore the area outside of clan territory? Like, I'd be so down to just wander. What if there's a territory that had so much more prey or super cool new healing herbs? Guess we won't know. Healing herbs. That is a mechanic I hope they add at some point, is like actual territory management. It doesn't have to be anything very excessive, but it'd be nice to have like chunks of land that you actually have to actively maintain. You can send out border patrols of various sorts to them. You know, you can win and lose some of that in wars with other clans too, so it's not just all flavor, but that's okay. That's probably a lot of work. Okay, so we had a nightmare involving a two-leg trap. Nothing too crazy there. I do think I forgot to send him out on patrol with a cat we actually were thinking of in our status last time. So I apologize. I'm just not used to actually seeing another cat's name crop up here. Okay, here's Lyra Rush, all grown up. Currently wondering how Little Heart is doing. She's righteous and a lore master, which I think may have changed since last time. And then finally we have Willow Deer, our apprentice. Definitely very similar to Lyra Rush, but coloration's definitely a little bit different. And she is currently making everyone laugh with a very funny quip. She grew to be charismatic, still radiates elegance, and a treasure keeper. I really, really do like Willow Deer. I don't get how our cat could have, you know, contributed to making her, since she seems to be so perfect. But that's alright. For our first apprentice, we got very lucky. Hollow has been sleeping a lot more as of late, so we'll talk to him. Ah, well, would you look who it is? It's Frost Whisper. How does it feel to be everyone in MoonClan's favorite cat? Hollowpelt's words are nice enough, but somehow you still get the sense they're making fun of you. I mean, yeah. They definitely are. Moonfern is wondering about the destinies that await kits outside of the nursery. I mean, during this moment of quiet, that's probably a big question. And Fluffroar is wondering how to break the news to Ravensong. What news are we breaking to Ravensong? Honestly, Sparrowstar has pretty good relations with most of the clan, even Skyscratch, whom he attacked. So, Floodmask is probably the one he liked the least, and Floodmask is now gone. And poor Stonefruit really, really likes Coyote Path. If the truth comes out, there could be major fireworks between the deputy and his mate. It looks like Ravensong actually had a little bit of a crush on Skyscratch. Was very, very comfortable with her too. Maybe that's the news that Fluffroar was having to break, that Skyscratch chose somebody else. Not that Ravensong can even take a mate or have kits in this challenge. Swanspot does have a little bit of a crush on Icy Ice Forming. Tulip Stripe does have quite a bit of romantic love for Skyscratch too. And Greenfin has a crush on Whisker Streak. A lot of little things cropping up. You know, the more I look, the more I see how much Coyote Path dislikes a lot of cats in the clan. That last page is probably the biggest or most obvious one, but I still really don't like how we're the most disliked out of everybody. It makes me genuinely kind of nervous. Pigeon Flick has a few small crushes on Skyscratch and Moonfern. Skyscratch doesn't feel quite as strongly for Tulip Stripe as Tulip Stripe feels for her. She does have some feelings for some other cats as well. And we, of course, don't like anybody like that. Oh, I did not realize that was a connection. Okay, Little Heart is a kid of Moonfern and Stonefruit. And Willow Deer was adopted by Stonefruit, so that ship is dead. Holopelt does have a little bit of a crush on Judashade. And Sparrowstar. Icy Ice, I'm curious who the other parent would be. I don't see any very obvious choices, so we'll just have to see when the time comes. Judashade likes Icy Ice and Bite Speck, but not really Holopelt. A little bit, but not really. So the Elder Zen seems like quite a weird circle of tangled attachments. Oh, Moonfern actually has a little bit of a crush on us of everybody. And Sky Scratch, but maybe Moonfern will actually come to like us. Or vice versa. Oh, that could be it. So Fluffroar does like Sky Scratch, but likes Ravensong even more. Which Ravensong I don't think really reciprocated. So poor Fluffroar probably was telling Ravensong that Sky Scratch chose a different mate. Drama indeed. I need to check that more often. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and do some patrols. We find a smooth stone near a river that reminds us of a cat we're fond of. We think they might like it as a gift. You offer them the stone and they seem genuinely touched by your thoughtfulness. Their appreciation makes you feel warm and happy inside. Looks like Misty Fluff did immediately get another apprentice too, so maybe they also wanted to see if Misty Fluff would, you know, keep up some of the promise that they showed as a mentor. Because they really were doing very good with Streampaw before. Everything just broke. Even so, I think Sparrowstar will take his own apprentice out on a training patrol as well. As Coldpaw falls over again, still not getting how to shift their weight with that move, Sparrowstar watches them from the side of the training ring, sitting apart from the rest of the patrol, but not alone. Ooh. The spirit beside them calls to Coldpaw, a murmur that drifts in and out of Sparrowstar's hearing, making their ears twitch. It isn't bad advice, though. After another fall, Sparrowstar pads forward to pass on the message. While it can be difficult to interpret the words of those who've gone beyond, seeing as they've been sitting there yelling the same advice over and over again, Sparrowstar will manage. Huh. I'm assuming that that's from the Star Clan skill, but I've never seen anything like that before. That's really cool. I totally thought that was going a Dark Forest route before, and I guess it technically still could be. But very, very interesting. Let's have Coyote Path take out some anger at the border. And perfect, it's a small dog. The dog gets a lucky hit on Coyote Path, though together all cats are still able to drive it off successfully. Coyote Path got a torn pelt, but nothing too much worse. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing anymore. Greenfin, Willow Deer, and Little Heart bring back a lot of prey. Look at how much prey we have compared to how much we actually need. I'm just gonna send everybody else out on random patrol of 3. Okay, so we're on patrol with Weaselreed and Tulip Stripe. We're actually the leader. And as we're checking the border lines, we hear an odd sound coming from a nearby bush. I really don't want to check that out because that could be a lot of bad things that could hurt any of these cats. But we do have Weaselreed with us, who is arrogant, and to be blunt, I don't really see him listening to our orders, and he'd probably go check it out anyway. I don't know if this is technically prompt that means that we have to proceed. But since it's something on the borderline, I'll take it as such. So let's proceed. Okay, that went the worst way it could have gone. Tulip Tribe takes lead in checking the source of the noise and comes face to face with a snarling Wolverine. Tulip Tribe yells for their patrol, but the other cats aren't quick enough to stop it from killing them in one quick and deadly swipe. Tulip Stripe has died. In the same moon that he got a mate in Sky Scratch. What is happening? We're gonna sit with so much grief and regret because we were patrol leader and this was our responsibility to keep him safe. And now we have to go back to camp and explain to everybody exactly what happened. Oh man, okay. Well, let's go ahead and see how this resolves. You reminisce about past adventures with your former mentor. Their fond gaze and shared laughter warm your heart. Hopefully that means they're not killing us. An unexpected forest fire rages near your camp. You aid in leading your clan to safety, courage pulsing through your veins. I guess Leaf Fall is definitely one of the times for fire to strike. But I definitely would have expected us to take the lead. It could definitely still be some lingering guilt about not being able to save Tulip Stripe really driving us home though. You share a haunting tale with the apprentices. You challenge a decision made by the deputy, your voice ringing out in the silent camp. Guess we'll see what that decision might have been. Icy Eyes hopes the litter will be small. They feel overwhelmed at the idea of a big litter. Time to move to the nursery and relax before the new arrivals make their appearance. And where they can be fussed over by the two queens. In the past moon, Tulip Stripe has taken their place in Star Clan. Their loss is mourned, and we'll miss the spot they took up in our lives, but nobody's grief runs deeper than that. Coyote Path, Frost Whisper, and Misty Fluff took a sunbath and had a little small talk. That could be when we were reminiscing on stories. Frost Whisper settles near Swan Spot to eat their fresh kill. Misty Fluff had a friendly chat with Frost Whisper that leaves them both feeling happy. Guess we're getting close to Misty Fluff since they keep cropping up here. Coyote Path grooms their pelt, happy to find the tears and wounds in it gone. Pigeon Flick no longer has a running nose, so Greenfin has gotten a running nose. And as the herb stores are inspected, we know some raspberry has gone bad and will need to be replaced. Could be worse. This has been a long time coming. Judas Shade and Icy Eyes have become mates. I mean, we did just take a look at their relationships last time. They both had a little bit of an inkling for the other, but nothing very prominent either. Sparrowstar is currently eavesdropping on Misty Fluff, so I do think that proves that he does not trust Misty Fluff's explanations, at least not fully. Stonefruit is currently craving the taste of shrew. Ravensong saw a kitty pet rolling around a two-lake garden, probably from where he was grabbing some herbs. Swanspot is eavesdropping on Frozen Paw, and we will go ahead and talk to her. Hey Frost Whisper, thank you for meeting me here. No, it's nothing bad, I just wanted to show you something, look over there. You turn to look at the lake and see the sunset flooding over the water, painting it in golden hues. I want to show it to you because I think you'd appreciate it. You seem like the type of cat that would. I love being out here, Frost Whisper. Aw. You don't really interact too much with our mom. And I think a large part of that is just because, you know, there was no established relationship or a family group. When we loaded into this clan, it was pretty much just like, oh, we need to pick a mother for your main character's litter, Swampspot. Because Swampspot never really seemed very acknowledging of us. Swampspot will be an elder here soon, too. Coyote Path is feeling nervous. I no longer feel bad, but we are talking to you because we've had multiple things saying we talked to you this moon. Watch out for us, Whisper, don't come any closer. You leap back, expecting thorns or sharp rocks, but instead, Coyote Path's gaze is fixed on a bee? Is this Cold Paw's bee? It must have just sung something. I think it's dying, poor little guy. You ask Coyote Path why they don't just squish it, they recoil. It's a living thing, just like you or me. What crime has this bee committed, the crime of being small? No, it deserves a death with dignity, just like the rest of us. The bee suddenly falls very still. Oh, I think it just went. I'm sorry, little guy. I hope wherever you are, you find plenty of flowers and even more mercy. Coyote Path gently scoops up the bee in their paw and lays it in a bed of moss. They trot away, but you linger by the bee for another moment in awe of their gentleness and insight. You vow to never kill another bug again. I think that was just a show. I don't think Coyote Path can feel that kind of remorse for B and feel seemingly nothing by killing Lilac Chaser. So it's either just a show to make everybody doubt that Coyote Path ever has it in them, or the B is a projection of their guilt for Lilac Chaser and their hope that Lilac Chaser is in a better spot despite what they did. So it's one of the two. And I guess time will tell which route Coyote Path ends up taking. We are currently playing a prank on Icy Ice, which just seems mean. But we will go ahead and talk to Icy Ice since we can't patrol with them. Sky Scratch, despite having just become Tulip Stripe's maid, is not really grieving him. She wants to critique Liar Rush's fighting techniques instead. In fact, the only cat I've seen so far that was mourning Tulip Stripe was Foot, who is one of Tulip Stripe's kids. Misty Fluff also will never forget Tulip Stripe. We are talking to him. The crisp air of this leaf fall is putting me in the mood for revolution. Weaselreed and Snowpaw are smart. What do you think of convincing them to help us overthrow Sparrowstar? Ha, of course I'm kidding, Frost Whisper. Leaf Fall is a season for relaxing. Haha, we save revolutions for Leaf Bear. I don't think he's entirely joking, because if there was any cat I would say would have the gumption to try and overthrow the leader, or could be convinced, it would be Weaselreed, for his arrogance and, I guess, more abrasive attitude. Colepaw is also eavesdropping on Misty Fluff, their own mentor. So maybe some whisperings around Misty Fluff are making their way around camp. Hollowpelt is made of friend material. Icy Ice is sharing wisdom with younger cats that is less than helpful. Let's go ahead and talk to them. Icy Ice watches Willowdeer and Misty Fluff laugh together a little ways away, apparently too nervous to join in the conversation. They don't really like us, but we seem to really like them, so let's try and help them socialize. You ask Icy Ice why they don't just go up and talk to the warriors. What, and interrupt their conversation? Are you crazy? I'd rather die than be subjected to that kind of humiliation. You wouldn't understand. I'm not confident like you are. I can't just go chatting with every member of the clan every move. They'd love to talk with you. You really think so? Star Clan, I guess I got nothing to lose. Well, aside from my dignity, but that's not really worth a ton. Here goes nothing. Icy Ice crosses the camp and awkwardly stands near the warriors until they notice enough to include them in their conversation. The talk is silted. Icy Ice looks a lot less lonely than before. Alright, and now it's already time for more patrol. We spot a large mouse. We attempt to catch it, but it escapes at the last moment. Better luck next time. Ravensong gathers some moss. Once again, we've got another new patrol, at least for me. The leaves drift high in sunset piles beneath the shedding trees, and as the patrol wanders familiar forest paths, Snowpaw gets swallowed up. Snowpaw explodes out of the leaf drift, bowling over Colepaw. Laughing, Sparrowstar bats at Snowpaw, claws sheathed, and skids off the path into the leaves as the patrol devolves into rustling, raucous, riotous fun. That just sounds really good. I just miss, like, having a bunch of leaves to jump in and play in, but it's really good to see that Sparrowstar still has it in him to be playful and to not be serious and fierce and deadly all of the time. After what happened last moon, I think we're gonna go on a hunting patrol. As the patrol heads out into the forest to hunt, Greenfin seems to be absolutely unconcerned with their duties, instead ambling along as though the prey is going to waltz into their paws. I don't really know what not proceeding is going to do for us, so we'll go ahead. And Greenfin doesn't bring much home, impressing nobody. So we only bring back a little bit, but it's something, and it's not like we need a ton. And I guess we do just have enough experience now to be leading patrols pretty regularly, which is kind of strange to think about, in all honesty. As our patrol is checking the border lines, we notice a Bliss clan sent to straight into our territory. They're our allies, but this is a bit suspicious. So we are into Leaf Fall, which means that since we are most likely to antagonize, we're going to be looking at antagonizing more often than we are proceeding on patrols. With our particular traits, nervous, arrogant, faithful, and insecure, I can really see us going either way, so I'm pretty much just gonna flip a coin here. Okay, heads we go, tails we don't. Alright, so we got tails. So heads is antagonized, tail is we do not. Either way, we do have to actually proceed. So we'll just regularly proceed here. After poking around a bit, we discover a BlizzClan apprentice wandering nearby, hopelessly lost. The apprentice is distraught upon discovering they're on the wrong side of the border, but Stonefruit only chuckles and gently guides the young cat back to their own territory. Our last patrol is practicing fighting techniques, but nobody steps up to teach. Okay. And with that, we are going to go into our last moon for this episode. Okay, so moving into Moon 31 for us, 32 for the clan. During a peaceful moment, you relax under the shade of an oak tree. The gentle rustling of leaves soothes you and you fight not to fall asleep. You participate in a battle against a rival clan. Claws clash around you. Adrenaline rushes through your body as you hurl yourself into the fray. You attend a gathering of the various clans meeting under the full moon. The shared peace and stories fill you with a sense of unity and wonder. You challenge a clanmate to a friendly race. Their laughter fills the air, a pleasant respite from the everyday hustle. You take part in an unsuccessful raid on another clan. The defeat stings, but you retreat with your head held high. I'm assuming both of these battles with rival clans, Clay Clan, just because, again, out of every clan, we've had the most friction with them. So I'm just assuming that there are long-standing rivals. Whenever someone asks whether Icy Ice will be alright raising their single kitten alone, they just smile and reply that everything is going to work out fine. I take it by that there's no parent in the clan, but because Icy Ice is the one that gave birth to the kit, their privacy will be respected, because it's their right to choose. Frost Whisperer is complaining that Frozen Paw never does anything helpful, and Fluffer is frustrated that Frost Whisperer won't take their actions more seriously. So I'm assuming that tensions are growing as we're preparing for the final stretch of Leaf Fall into Leaf Bear, and that's definitely probably escalating some tensions around camp, especially if there is a rival clan attacking us. Bitespeck's tail was badly injured by a dog. I wonder if that's broken or mangled. Greenfin no longer has a running nose. That's good. Icy Ice is kitten again. Weaselreed has gotten a stomachache, and Frozen Paw no longer has white cough. Okay, a little bit quieter, but everybody seems to be doing okay, which is what matters. And little Chestnut Kid is now here. Oh, that's such a cute name, too, especially for Leaf Fall Torty. Are you kidding me? She's charming. And I am curious what her history is. One of their parents is an outsider that belongs to no clan. But Judah Shade has stepped in as the other parent, and Chestnut Kit will be raised, loved by the clan, and doted on by two queens, all to herself, at least for now. Icy Ice did at least get what they wanted, though. They did get a small litter, and it looks like they're feeling a lot better, currently debating about going on a little jaunt outside of camp. Judah Shade is giving advice to younger cats, so I think she is still excited for the kit. Sparrowstar is taking time to master a particularly difficult skill. Stonefruit wants to get to know Comfreyfoot better. Ravensong has a foul taste of bitter herbs in their mouth. The unfortunate side effects of being a medicine cat. But nothing too exciting there. I'm just watching this dislike bar increase and dreading the moment that turns red. We can't even mediate anything for ourselves because our mediator's gone. Alright, we saw a two-leg kit playing with a dog, but nothing very exciting there. No extra interactions, no extra patrol things, so. Frozen Paw is finally feeling better, and she's currently cleaning out the Elder's Den today, which is probably a task she might have taken up when she was on the mend from White Cough, just to try and, keep on top of things, feel like she's contributing. But for whatever reason, we're going to be arguing with her, so see how that goes. Keep yelling, maybe one day you'll actually sound intimidating. Harsh. But effective, I'm sure. Coldpaw is eavesdropping on Coyote Path. Coldpaw is just always eavesdropping on somebody. I don't know if it's like at Sparrowstar's behest or if he's just a little bit nosy. But like every single time feels like he's eavesdropping on somebody else. Which is a little strange for a meek cat. But active imagination could definitely explain some of why he may be wanting to listen in. White Speck does have a mangled tail, which isn't great, but it could certainly be worse for him. Clefroar is helping to mediate minor squabbles between kits. I think it makes more sense that he is just learning the theory, but we had an argument with him too, so we'll insult him. Your meow is worse than your bite. Fair enough. Yeah, Chestnut Kit's way too young still. That's unsurprising, but I did just want to double check. And we are going to go ahead and do our patrol. We noticed an unfamiliar scent on your clan's borders. It's our responsibility to investigate and ensure the clan's safety. We're definitely responsible enough that we're not going to just let it slide. We attempt to track it, but it fades before you find the source. Well, at least we didn't actually get hurt. We get some horsetail with Ravensong. I think Coldpaw and Misty Fluff will be going out by themselves today, so Sparrowstar can help out catching Frozen Paw up. Well, this is definitely a little bit unexpected. Misty Fluff is surprised when Coldpaw makes a mistake on a simple move Misty Fluff thought they had mastered. Before Misty Fluff can say anything, Coldpaw runs out of the training grounds. When Misty Fluff finds them huddled in camp, they sob out confession. They will never be ready to be a warrior. Looks like we have a syntax error in the code, maybe. But I'm gonna assume Misty Fluff tries to think of something to say or do, anything, but as Coldpaw becomes more and more inconsolable, finally Misty Fluff gives up, leaving Coldpaw alone with their thoughts. I guess that goes back to the whole being meek thing, but I'm really genuinely a little surprised that Coldpaw had such a breakdown. I was gonna say when I sent them out by themselves, if they graduate next moon, this could be seen as their assessment. But with an assessment like that, I don't think they would be made a warrior right away. So it doesn't really check out if that's how it goes. We are gonna go out on a border patrol this go, but we're gonna be going with Stonefruit, so I'm assuming Stonefruit will actually be leading this, just to try and help Frost Whisperer rebuild some confidence that he may have otherwise lost. As we're checking the border lines, we once again notice BlizzClan has strayed into our territory. We're calm enough on this patrol that I think we'll just proceed here. Because, aloof, nervous, charismatic, faithful, none of those are super aggressive. If it was Leaf Bear, we'd antagonize no matter what, but I think we can be a little bit more sparing here. And once again, it's a lost apprentice, and we guide them back to their own territory. Our hunting patrols have not been very successful, but all things considered, I think we're still doing alright. I'm gonna send everybody else out on a border patrol. And Swanspot tells a very long story of their ancestors keeping the cat's minds off the long walk. So everything there is quiet, but I definitely don't think our troubles are over, not by a long shot. I have a feeling that this was kind of the calm before the storm, and come winter time, when tensions are high, I think that could definitely be a moment when it all just erupts. So exactly how that's going to look, if Coyote Path is actually going to act on any of their hatred that I'm sure they're going to be developing for us, I don't know. And I honestly can't say what's gonna happen if Coyote Path kills Frost Whisper. If that happens, then we may just do like a stream just to see how Coyote Path's story goes and see how that gets resolved. But I really hope we don't just, end the story on time skip to something like that, even if it would be kind of interesting. But all of that just remains to be seen. So until next time, feel free to check out some links in the description. There is a link to my Twitch. I'm also opening up commissions, so the link to those TOS and how to actually request a commission will also be down there now, as well as a link to an Instagram if that interests you at all. I'm mostly just going to be posting artwork over there, so nothing crazy. But thank you, as always, to Parental Unit for supporting the channel. That support is greatly appreciated. And until next time, stay safe, stay happy. I'll see y'all then, and bye!